Hey Peyton, nice to see you again on this beautiful day. And this time with just a saying, um, which goes like that autumn shows us how beautiful letting go can be if you see all the leaves falling down. But there's also a quote from Eckhart Tolle which points into the similar direction. Sometimes letting things go is an act of far greater power than hanging on. So what's your take on that, Peyton?
Yes, it is a reflection that I've been contemplating quite a bit recently as I walk around and go on hikes. And yesterday I was kind of hammocking deep out in nature and observing the trees let go of their leaves and kind of watching the colorful leaves rain down to the ground and reflecting for a while about um, sort of an internal letting go in an autumn within myself. And I'm in a phase right now in my life where I definitely feel called to review kind of what all I'm holding on to in my life and what no longer serves me and what it is time to let go of. And it's in concept so important, in my opinion, to have this mentality of all of these things are temporary regardless. Nothing in the end we can take with us. And so all of these things are here for rent and not for own, and they're here for a time. And so there is a wise stance or a balance that we can find with the aspects of our ways of being, our patterns, the things we hold on to, our possessions, our roles, our titles, our identities, and look for ways in which, what is serving me? What is not serving me? What am I called to for a time? What am I called to for a season? And what was I called to for a season, and the season is now past? And that's, at a high level, a review that really serves us to go through periodically in our lives, in my opinion, because all of the good things in our lives, all of the future good things, and the future friendships, and the future ways of being, the future experiences, they only can come, these blessings, these things that we want, only can come if we first allow the space for them. And so that is a part of what I think about letting go, is creating opportunity for things that we cannot yet see, things that we cannot yet experience, and we only can kind of open our hand to accept something new coming in if we are not firmly holding on to the last thing that was in our hand. What do you think about letting go, and how are you feeling inspired by the autumn season?
Yeah, man. First of all, the autumn season is great because of all the colors
Yes.
and the beauty that follows this change. There you see also beauty is embedded into change when you see it like that. And I love the image that you shared with us lastly. Holding tight onto something makes you not able to be open for something that falls into your hands, because you cannot hold onto it, the thing that comes, because you're already holding something. And the thing about holding something is, if it's great, if it's a fit, then go for it. That's awesome. But if it does not belong to you, or if the season of the thing you're holding on is past, then then letting go is a far more powerful act than holding on to something, because it also talks of separation, and that is a hard thing to do. Like, really, if you have been attached to something and then you separate from it, it is always going to hurt a little bit, or a little bit more. But with letting go, you have more opportunity to really use the change, to make use of what is changing in your life, what is changing around you, what is changing in the world. And you have the opportunity to focus on something new. And what do you want to focus on that comes into your life after this season of your life, Peyton?
This is a great question, and one that I've been contemplating quite a bit. I find that there's many times in our lives when we're tempted not to admit that we are making a choice of one thing over another. And I've noticed in myself in these past 3 or 6 months, there's been a lot of me holding on to something in a way that prevented me from truly prioritizing my higher values. And so, and what these things that I'm holding on to, some of them were external and things out in the world or whatever, but a lot of these were holding on to certain patterns or narratives or ways of being or identity within. And I've noticed not too long ago, actually, that a lot of these attachments that I'd had to defensiveness, attachment to proving my point, attachment to being recognized, or attachment to being right, or to other people recognizing what this or that about what I was doing or whatever. A lot of these things were getting in the way of me prioritizing and being in a position to accept my higher values, the things that I really do want, the things that I really do need, that I'm right to need. All of these things that these patterns that have been playing out, holding on to defensiveness, holding on to a fragile narrative, holding on to wanting to be right or wanting to prove my point. Without fully recognizing it, I was choosing those things over what I really did need, which is freedom, which is connection, which is love, which is unity. These things that really are core to what I want in this life and what I value, what I treasure, and what I believe I'm called to value and treasure and pursue. And in this letting go of these other ways of being, I found was a prerequisite for me being able to see and accept these things that are ultimately far more nourishing, and the things that I ultimately do want. Why I create the blank space is this freedom, this internal freedom, this peace and ease in life, this love and connection, and in a flexible, free-flowing way of being that is not hindered by the fragility of contraction and rigidity. And so this is a lot of for myself right now. When I think of letting go inside, it is so essential because there really are some values that we can pursue that will sustainably enrich, heal, and nourish us, and some that are kind of like drinking salt water. Blaming others is like drinking salt water. When we do it, there's a Tao Te Ching saying that says, failure is an opportunity. If you blame others, there is no end to the blame. And this is true. If you do this, then you will get in this cycle of looking for opportunities to superimpose your own feelings of fear or shame with this story that you can try to make black and white to pin it all on somebody else and nothing is my fault. And I've seen these patterns over and over in myself and in others. And really letting go of many of these internal struggles, many of these internal wars and conflicts that we fight within our own mind to try to protect and defend some black and white story that our ego would like to say and believe about ourselves, so that we don't have to accept the gray nature and the fact that all of us have ups and downs and failures and good and bad, and that nothing is this clean, perfect picture. And so this is a lot of the more single player and internal and visible letting go that I've felt called to lately. How about
Yeah,
you? What kinds of letting go have you seen in your own life?
yeah. In this regard, letting go is far more powerful than holding on to something. Because if you
Yes.
are attached to a kind of story or to you proving your point, nowadays it's pretty clear the politics mess going on and everybody fights each other in that regard. But you should never let go of a lifelong friendship or lifelong relationship with your loved ones or family or whatever, just because of your different points on ideological topics. Because
Yes.
it's not important to hold on to the feeling of being right. Not necessarily of being right, but if you feel you are right, then this is obviously your proof, but it doesn't hold. And therefore, just let go of wanting to be right. Just let go of knowing everything to be that way or to be the truth. This is so powerful that your relationships can heal through that, just not being attached to your ego ways of interpreting the things that are happening. Or the same with anger. It is like a hot coal you hold, waiting to throw onto somebody that you are angry at, but it is you who's getting burned. So in that regard, letting go of something negative relieves you from the pain of being burned by this hot coal waiting to be thrown on another. But this is obviously very powerful in terms of, if you let go of the things that are hurting you, you will be better off afterwards. You will have much more value and less risk of being held in this kind of frame, in this fence. And yeah, regarding your question, thanks, man. For me, what I want in this next phase of life, through letting go of my old role, through letting go of the comfort of my environment, is to feel more alive again and to learn something new about myself, that I can really uncover my unique value that I can bring to the table, which I've been created for. And this is for sure no easy task, and good to be done in terms of trial and error, in terms of creative experiments, maybe creating videos and being in an environment which is totally unknown previously to me, and therefore having this stimulus and having new experiences, which helped me also to settle myself into myself, to feel at home in myself, because I will carry myself everywhere around where I go. So it is also about building a good foundation, a healthy foundation for growth, which comes rooted on my core, on my way of being, the core that I am. There, the roots have to be planted and have to grow from there, because it's the most stable structure, in my opinion. What do you think about building something on your core from within?
What comes to my mind when you say that, and it's so resonant with me how you frame it, is this concept of being living in integrity, being in integrity versus being out of integrity, and this not just referring to, are we speaking the truth, though of course that's a part of it, but this concept of, are we living our truth? Are we living in sincere, genuine alignment with the core of our being? Not to say that that won't involve challenges and suffering and trials or whatever. Those are a part of our truth. Those are a part of what we must go through and this journey in life. But there are times in our life when we feel a deep calling within, that we are not where we are meant to be. We are not as we are meant to be. We are not in the role we are meant to be anymore. Not that it's bad that we were ever here, perhaps, but perhaps our time in a certain place has come and it is gone, and it is time to shed this external environment, or this external ways that we are spending our attention and our time, in order to allow for, to your point, growth and healing and open possibilities. It is a broad, vast world, and there is a voice within that calls us to courageously step forward into the unknown, into this vast sea of possibilities that we can't know in advance exactly what direction our path will take. And this is a call that I've felt a few times in my life, and actually this is one that I'm deeply connecting with right now. And so this kind of letting go of ways of being, I think, is essential to our development, and not getting stuck in patterns and cycles that persist and persist and persist beyond when they serve us, or beyond when they grow us, or beyond the role that they are meant to play in our journey. And it's something that a lot of times only our intuition can tell us when it is time to let go versus when it is time to stay and hold on. the inner GPS system that is able to take into account our deepest wisdom and our body's voice and our heart's knowledge.
Yeah.
And
And
this
it's
letting go
similar
I find
to
so important.
it is similar to the letting go of the trees. They have this inner system.
Yes.
They have this intuition about it is about time to change. It is about time to really grow back to your core, to really save up your energy, to not expose yourself too much because winter's coming. And this is like a seasonal thing, isn't it? Like you feel it as well, the inner calling that calls you towards a new stage of life. Like every step of your life's journey continues, and somehow life comes at us, and we have to decide sometime. Let us choose wisely in that regard. And also, our choices are the basis, are the foundation for our future way of being, for our way of life that we will have. And this intuition is a big voice leading me in this regard as well. It is calling, and you have to listen to it, but don't ignore it, because
Yes.
it's like this tiny little voice, and you're not trusting it 100%. But if you take the leap of faith and really try to listen to it, try to understand it, try to understand yourself, and then trust it even more, and then have faith that the way you will go then when you trust your inner voice. Some even might say follow your heart. When you do that, then trust that good things are about to come, and the best is yet to come.
Wonderful thoughts, my friend. I really appreciate you sharing. I feel very inspired, and yeah, these themes are deeply resonant with where I'm at right now and where I feel called. So I'm grateful to get to discuss. It's kind of cool that we're kind of having some parallel paths and some parallel reflections on this as it relates to our stages of our own life. And I'm very excited to have this trust and to step forward into the unknown. So I appreciate you sharing your thoughts, my friend. May we listen. May we be flexible. May we hold everything with an open palm and a loose grip. And may we practice the important art of letting go with balance as we go forward in our paths. Thank you for what you shared.
Thank you very much, bro. Yeah, may we don't hold tight. Let's just be relaxed and also trust that the things that are about to come will help us grow, will help us shape us into the persons we want to become. And therefore,
100%.
listen to our intuition and listening to how the seasons change, and then making use of that change and seeing the opportunities within that. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, brother. I couldn't agree more. I will see you on the next one.
See you in the next one.